Good morning. Are you Steve Ray Williams? I need you to speak up since you have that. Are you sick?
No.
Okay. So, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment in each case?
He does, Judge.
There's 2 MTRPs and 3 new cases, I think, and on that other one. All right, see, will he waive the formal, did I already say this? He'll waive the
He
formal reading in all the cases. Sorry. All right, let me start getting them pulled up here. Are they all? Well, I know the unauthorized use is enhanced.
You're all. Yes, Judge.
Okay, so I need to make copies of me. If you want to start at the end of Mr. Williams, and print some of those, I'm gonna have to make notes on all of those because it's different counts. Please, ma'am. I've got the first one I'm getting started and I'll go that way, but give me just a second,
No, sure does.
to get it. When I need to make notations on them, it's easy if it's 1 or 2 on the computer. It's not if there's a lot. So let me get everything printed out and it'll take a minute, but it'll go quicker once I get it done. I got the first 3, if you've got the last 2 on Williams. All right, let's get started. Mr. Williams, in cause number 26, DCCR 0312, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle. And that's from December 2nd of 2025. Your indictment alleges that you were previously convicted of possession of a controlled substance, a state jail felony, March 25th of 2002. And after that was final, you were convicted of possession of a controlled substance, a state jail felony, May 22nd of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Speak up, please.
Guilty now.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And because you did what they charged you with? I need you to answer out loud.
Yes, ma'am.
And are those prior 2 convictions true?
Yes, ma'am.
In cause number 26 DCCR 0313, which counts are we going on that case?
See.
Mhm. I printed the first 3.
There's a have listed as a habitual, but there's only one additional felony alleged there. I don't know if I didn't file a notice to enhance a standalone. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought
I
that's how you
filed
filed
a standalone notice in all of the cases to enhancing.
Is he pleading to all those counts?
Yes, ma'am.
So with the minimum of 25?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so
It may.
let's go back to,
I was going to suggest maybe refer to the notice of enhancement that I filed. I don't know if it would make it easier that way.
I'm gonna go back to the cause number ending in 0312. It's the one you just pled guilty to. It had those 2 prior state jail felony offenses listed in the indictment. The state has also filed a notice of intent to use prior convictions to enhance. And in that, they allege that you were also previously convicted of the 2nd-degree felony offense. No, hold on. Prior convictions, there we go. Of possession of a controlled substance. It doesn't say what level offense that is, but that's the one from July 30th of 2003. What level offense is?
He received 5-year sentence on that, Judge. Let's see. To be clear, to be specific, it was, looking for judgment now, a 1st-degree felony.
So that conviction, again, from of possession of a controlled substance from July 30th of 2003, which was a 1st-degree felony. Is that true or not true?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there's also an allegation of a conviction from March 11th of 2008 that you were convicted in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Texas of the offense of felon in possession of a firearm. And is that also
Yes,
true?
ma'am.
And so what that means is that for punishment purposes, in this case, the punishment range would be that of a 2nd-degree felony, which is between 2 years and 20 years. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, did you enter your plea of guilty and true to those prior convictions freely and voluntarily? All right, and cause number 26, DCCR 0.
And here's where things get serious. Those prior convictions don't just sit in the background, they dramatically increase the punishment range. In Texas, enhancements can turn a bad day into a life-altering one. 2 years can suddenly become 20, and 20 can become a whole lot more. The criminal history is now steering the ship.
313. You're charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by felon, third-degree felony from December 2nd of 2025. The indictment alleges you were previously convicted of possession of a controlled substance, a first-degree felony, July 28th of 2003. And then the notice of intent to enhance alleges that same prior that we already talked about, which is the felon in possession of a firearm case, which was the federal case from March 11th of 2008. How do you plead to this charge?
Guilty, ma'am.
And again, are those prior convictions true?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you plead guilty and true freely and voluntarily? And in this case, that makes the punishment range that of a habitual offender. Is that everyone's understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in cause number 26, DCCR 0314, you're charged with the second-degree felony offense of abandoning or endangering a child within placing them in risk of imminent bodily danger. And that's a second-degree felony from December 2nd of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty, ma'am.
And then that indictment also alleges that you were previously convicted of possession of a controlled substance, a first-degree felony, July 28th of 2003. In addition, that notice of enhancement alleges that prior conviction of felon in possession of a firearm, making this habitual punishment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, are those prior convictions true?
Yes.
Cause number 26, DCCR 0315, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of theft of a firearm. And that's from December 2nd of 2025. That indictment alleges those prior state jail felony convictions, the possession of a controlled substance from March 25th of 2002. And then after that was final, the state jail offense, possession of a controlled substance from May 22nd of 2024. In addition, there's the 2 prior felonies that are listed in the notice of enhancement, the felon in possession of a firearm, as well as the possession of a controlled substance, which was a first-degree felony. And how do you plead to this charge?
Guilty, ma'am.
And again, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, are all those prior convictions true?
Yes.
And then finally, in cause number 26, DCCR 0316, you're charged with a first-degree felony offense of aggravated kidnapping from December 2nd of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty, ma'am.
And that alleges in the indictment the prior offense of possession of a controlled substance, a first-degree felony, July 28th of 2003. In addition, there is the notice to enhance that alleges the prior felon in possession of a firearm from March 11th of 2008. And are all of those prior convictions true?
Yes, ma'am.
And that for punishment purposes makes this a habitual offender, correct, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you enter your pleas of guilty and true in all of these cases freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you plead guilty in each of the cases because you actually did what they've charged you with?
Aggravated kidnapping, habitual offender status, multiple felonies. At this point, the stakes couldn't be much higher. Notice how quickly each "yes, ma'am" comes out. Every answer locks another piece into place. There's no dramatic courtroom battle here, just the quiet finality of a negotiated plea.
Yes.
In all of these cases, I have here on the tablets and documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you fully understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney in each case that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes.
It's going to take me a minute to get them all printed out. And state tenders number 1 in each case.
No objection, Judge.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Williams is not competent?
No, Judge.
And Mr. Williams, you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it 20 on the two
State jails.
and 35 on all of those?
That's right, Judge.
All right, this is going to take just a minute. I've got to go through each of those documents and print out the admonishment or the certification. All right, sir, in each of your cases, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of guilty and true, freely and voluntarily. Find again, you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of all of those pleas. In cause number 26, DCCR 0312, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and find all those counts true. And in that case, sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 20 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 26, DCCR 0313, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, find those prior counts true, and at this time find you guilty of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 35 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 26, DCCR 0314, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of abandoning or endangering a child. Find those prior convictions true. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 35 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 26, DCCR 0315, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and find all the prior convictions that you pled true to true. And at this time, find you guilty of theft of a firearm, find those convictions true, sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 20 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will also receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. And then in cause number 26, DCCR 0316, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, find you guilty of aggravated kidnapping. Find those prior convictions true. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 35 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. All of these cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time. Handing you in each of your cases the trial court certifications that shows that these were agreements that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition.